Hello, I just wanted to share with you the presentation we gave to senior school pupils on the 3rd of March, all about growth mindset. We started off by reminding them how we'd introduced growth mindset with the task of making an origami penguin out of a piece of paper with no instructions, and how we'd looked at their approach to that task. And then we reminded them of the audit they'd done in January with their tutor to see where they were on the path from fixed mindset to growth mindset. And just to remind us there, fixed mindset, the theory predicts that people believe that their abilities determine everything, whereas in growth mindset, effort and attitude can determine the outcomes you will have. I then showed a short video about how the brain learns, and I'll put that onto YouTube so you can have a look as well. It's based upon synapses and the process that occur in the brain in order to secure learning, and how you learn from making mistakes. And the video led really to a discussion about how you need to overcome certain barriers in order to learn. One of the things that you need to do is to be thinking in a way in order to encourage learning. And as we're all creatures of habit, and thinking is exactly the same, I describe these things as thinking traps, things that you can fall down on because you're making assumptions that are not true. The first I went through was jumping to conclusions. So that's making assumptions about ourselves or others. Something like, I'm rubbish at maths because I can't do algebra, whereas actually you can do trigonometry and you can do fractions. You can even do the delights of differential equations. The next thinking trap I talked about was tunnel vision. So ignoring what's happening around you to get one thing done. And we find that very often that pupils will focus on something they like or a topic that they understand already because that's quite comforting for them. And then they can have difficulties where they don't revise things that are a bit more tricky. Next one was overgeneralization, assuming that if one thing's true in one situation, it's true in all the others. And here I talked about the different shades of blue. They're all blue, but they're slightly different. And we might hear something like, if I don't get that role, I'm rubbish at acting, but maybe it's not actually the right role for you. Judging a book by its cover was all about making assumptions based on one thing about you. So, it's an easy question. I know this. I'll just jot down these things I can think of without structuring my thoughts, without thinking about what the key words this question requires. And then something that I'm not sure whether you see, where we call sort of making a mountain out of a molehill. So, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and therefore I'm never going to be able to recover from this. And all the time and mental energy that's spent on that sort of thinking trap. Of course, sometimes the reverse is true as well. So actually making a molehill out of a mountain. So sort of things you might hear is, well, everybody else got a D too, or, well, no one else is revising yet. That sort of thinking trap that prevents people from making progress. I talked about personalising and believing that it's all about you, it's all your fault, and that being not necessarily a healthy mental place to be, and also the time that's wasted as you sort of examine your navel as opposed to getting on and sorting out whatever the problem is. Of course, the reverse can be true as well, believing that it's really nothing to do with you, somebody else's fault, that you're not putting the effort in order to improve. I spoke about mind reading here and expecting someone else to notice when you need help, and use this as an opportunity to really encourage our pupils to ask for help, ask for guidance, go to the clinics, ask for support, and then take it on and own it and make it something that you then need to work in order to improve your result. And the final thinking trap was about perfectionism. So everything needing to be just so. Sort of thing that you might see in a lesson is somebody who starts writing their answer and then makes a mistake and has to start the whole thing again. One bit's wrong, then the whole thing is rubbish. I then showed a short video that was made by the teachers. I'll let the pupils tell you about that, of Mr. Dance and Mr. Hoare demonstrating this process in place. So learning a new skill, practicing the skill, making mistakes, examining why you've made those mistakes, and if you know why you made the mistake, going along and fixing the mistake and testing the skill again. Or if you don't know why you made the mistake, asking for help before you fix the mistake, and how this process is necessary in order to give mastery. Thank you.